Let's go ahead and get started. Um, overnight or yesterday afternoon after the stream, I ended up continuing to work on the application, and I figured out the falling to the pit problem. So basically, let me go ahead and run this. What I've got is the this background. I broke it off into two pieces. So this surface, it top right here is one piece, and then right down here, this is a second piece of the surface. And so I draw this and this separately, and then this and the bedrock down here um, are drawn on their own. So that way, I'm in front of the surface up here, but I can fall and I fall behind this area. So that makes it look really, really nice there. And then, of course, we can move on through. So everything else is pretty much the same. So I got the ability to fall down a pit. Now, what I wanted to work on next is jumping. So I began sort of playing around with the code that I have for jumping, and I think I have that set up, but in the process, I'm having to refactor a bit of the player physics engine. I don't think that I've set it up quite the way I wanted to. So, physics system, and what we have right here in this state is a little bit more fun. Basically, I've turned off the ability to move left and right, so it just looks like we run in place. And when I hit any one of these buttons, I'm gonna make it so any one of these buttons works as a jump. We just go flying. So basically, we have a jump force, but we haven't applied there's no gravity. There's no force pulling us down. And I think that's what we need to add here, and then re-add the ability to move left and right. So in our physics system, I've added in, I basically started two new functions here, which is handle command and handle state. So my idea is that handle command is choosing what the like, oh, we've got a command in, now do something about that command. So for example, if we press the right button, handle command, if we're in a like moving to the left state, we start moving to the right. If we're in a staying still state, we start running right. So basically just setting what the state is from that, if we need to, or ignoring it. And then we have a handle state. So this is, okay, we're actually doing the thing. So set the velocity, set the state. And so this is going to be like, oh yeah, we're hitting the ground. Time for us to no longer be falling, for example. And right now I have jumping. So as soon as we start jumping, that's when we play. We switch to falling. So even on our way up, we're in the falling state. So that way we know, oh, if we're falling, that's when we're applying gravity. All right, so let's go ahead and let's maybe give ourselves a gravity. So we need a gravity force. I also alphabetized this list, which makes it a lot easier to sort of look through and figure out where things are. Our gravity force right now we have 5 as our moving back and forth. If I'm adding gravity force constantly in, this might be good to be something like just a 1. And we go to mod. F32. And then also I implemented default for config to make it easier in the tests. So we need to add in gravity force here. So what I want to do is, as part of this handle state, if we're in the state of falling, gravity is being applied. And potentially we should have gravity all the time, except when we're over the pit. And that probably makes it a lot simpler. Okay, so handle jumping state. Okay, so this is handles jumping state. You can maybe have another be a CI test. Apply gravity. So yeah, we could just apply gravity all the time. We could apply gravity all the time, or we could also check right below us. And if there's not anything, then it's time for us to fall, and we switch to falling mode. That might make sense too, because then we're not constantly applying it. So apply gravity. Well, we need to play our physics system, and we need a config for that. So that config default, so much easier. Then once we have that, we want to set our state. So equals physics state falling. And so now we expect that, and maybe we should try applying gravity a couple different times. We could apply the gravity here. So let currents. Hey, kitty. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but not the best variable name. Oh. Fighting mode. So I could extract out and copy the current location of the player. Well, is that true? No, the current velocity of the player. So velocity equals player physics system, not that one. Velocities. That gives us, and we really care about velocity y. And we want to not switch to falling, and so we could apply gravity. I guess if we just call apply gravity, that affects it. So we want to get our current velocity y. We have our current speed. We switch to falling. We then want to run the falling function. We apply the gravity, and then we should assert equal physics systems dot velocity dot y. That should now be equal to, because if we have nothing in there to begin with, player physics system dot speed dot that's no gravity force. So that also lets us know we have to have a gravity force too, which we have. So okay, we'll apply gravity. I need that function first. Okay, that makes you happy, and then we need a gravity force on the player physics system. And then in our apply gravity. So okay, this should make you not fail anymore. No, you do fail still. Right, strict comparison. So we need to fix that. You should fail. With 0 not being equal to 1. Okay, yes, that is correct. And then we want to actually apply the gravity and have that add in. So apply gravity. So here we're going to say self dot velocity dot y plus equals self dot gravity force. All right, so that should apply the gravity for us. We actually need to call that. And so that will happen in our update here. So when we're in a falling state, if we handed our location, we would expect ourselves to be one further down. So this test is going to be for falling when updating. So that config equals defaults. Okay, so we get that. We also currently don't need you. We also want to. We need to run the update, and the update function takes in location, command, and features. So we'd expect this location to be updated too. So that includes location equals to new. We just say 0.0 and 0.0. We have a command. So we can have equals none. We don't really care about that. And then finally the features. So the other, like, what are the features around us? If we don't care about that, you can just be an empty vector. So if we set ourselves to have the state of falling, and we run update, so this can be player physics system dot update. Location, our command and our features. Then we should be able to insert equal. What should happen here? The location should update to be y of whatever the config gravity force is. So location x, you should still be 0.0. Location at y, you should be config dot gravity force. I'm curious if this will work. I think it's not going to work because we're not. Oh, right, we're not calling the apply gravity. So then here in update, we have handle state. Handle state. If we're in the falling state, we want to self dot apply gravity. Okay, perfect. But of course, there's a problem here. Although maybe we should run this before we go and fix that. Still can't run, so we need to fix that still. But when I try to jump, that works, and we fall forever. So that's fine. But what we need to do now is make it so that we hit the ground again. We can have a test for that. So we can also duplicate one of these tests and just update stop falling when hit surface. Okay, so we have our location. We're at 0, 0, 0, 0. So that should be fine on the far left. We're not over a pit. We have a command none. We have features. Let's actually give ourselves. We're a little bit up, so we can be negative. We can be at -1, so we should still be falling down. And actually, you know what? We need to know what the floor cave is. We should actually have this set up. So it's going to be a player physics system dot surface floor y. I think this will work. Okay, so surface floor y. And I need you to be essentially minus subtract 1. Then we make you into a state of falling. We update you so you fall. You should go down by 1, and that should now set you to no longer be in a state of falling. Okay, and your sort of equal location X, you should still be 0, 0. Y, so we know you're not updating there, so that's fine. We can check you. You should now be surface floor Y. What else do we need checking here? Oh, we need to check that we're no longer falling. So sort of equal player physics system dot state should be standing. Okay, so you're missing surface floor Y. And we can do the calculation right now for this. Because we have this entire on surface, true. I don't know if we're gonna need this after we're done. So we have the cave floor, but we don't have the surface floor. And I think the easiest thing to do for this one is just do the full calculation for it. So this can be our config resolution Y minus cave height. Then after cave height, we have let's see, what would it be? After cave height, we have the ground height. Then we have the surface bottom height. Okay, so I want to run this, make sure we're falling through the floor still. So left is 0 and right is 1. This is on line 328. Okay, this is, I don't think this, wait, this isn't right. But did I update this one and not this one? Following when updating. Oh, I think I updated the wrong one. But this should still work, right? Okay, so you're 0. So our location didn't update. So we applied the gravity force. We're saving the gravity force, I think. can actually do that here. Yeah, okay, so we're saving the gravity force. You should be positive that, so you should move down by... Oh, by whatever the location is, plus the gravity force. So maybe we should have like an expected gravity force. Expected location y plus okay, and then this can be that. Okay, so you passed there, and how about you? You failed, and that's expected. So we're still falling, and we should be standing still. So when we're in the falling state, we apply the gravity. So that's, yeah. Okay. So when we're in a falling state, we apply the gravity, but then we also want to check to see if we're now below, the floor. Okay. So if self dot, which means we need our location. So handle state needs to have a location in it. Okay, so if the location.y, if that is now we need to know how tall we are to know if our feet are above this, or we don't really care, because it's all relative. So we can have surface floor y, but that's based upon no. Okay, so then here we need to make sure that the surface floor y is properly saved. Okay, this is bothering me. I need to. This is falling when updating. For you, we need to know that your surface floor y is correct. Okay, so your surface floor y should be config dot resolution y minus config dot the bedrock height minus cave height, ground height, the surface bottom height, the player height divided by 2. That's what we expect that to be. And I'm guessing that you're going to be wrong, but I can't test that yet because we got errors because we're in the middle of a y. But now we're going to be sure that this is going to be fine, right? Everything's going to be fine. Okay, so surface location.y, if location.y is greater than or equal to, should say greater than self dot surface floor y. Then we want to reset our location. So location.y is equal to self dot surface floor y. We also want to stop being in a state. Self dot state is equal to physics state standing still. Okay. Now we have you, self to handle state. You need to pass in a location, which we have. And same thing down here. Oh, we don't have a location. Let's see. Handle jumping state. What are we checking here? I guess we'll just set 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. We're not really caring. Okay, then you should work. You don't work. What happened? We're falling, and we should be standing still. Because we need to go below it. Lord Mist, hello! So we need to actually go below it in order for this test to trigger. Let's try it again. $791 and 790. So this is now 316. Okay, so location.y, player physics system. Okay, so our location wasn't reset to this. Okay, so your 791 is our current location, and that's because we set you to be wherever the surface for y is. Then we set our state to falling. We run update. We are falling, so therefore we should go down by 1. So that would make us 791. I sort of wonder if this. Let's make sure that that's working correctly. It is not. Okay, so this math is incorrect. That's why the other math is incorrect. Okay, so our player physics system. It's because of this thing here. We're not doing all of that correctly. We're not setting the surface. So minus bottom height minus config dot player height divided by 2.0. We missed that. And back to all these. Okay, so 711 and 710. So we're off by 1 pixel. $326. Okay, so location at Y, clear physics system, clear Y. We want to. Let's see. So we want to ensure that your location has been properly reset. We're below it. So that should have triggered this. Okay, so if location at Y is greater than self surface floor Y, then location Y is equal to self.surface floor Y, and we set our physics state standing still. Did that get hit? I don't want to move you. Ah, that didn't get hit. Okay. So that's our problem. When we run... So we have this handle command here. And an update. Wait, that's not handle command. We don't care about that. Handle state here. Regardless, we run handle state and we pass it a mutable reference to the location. Every update loop. So that should be fine. Then it comes into handle state. If we're in the falling state. So I guess that's a question. Are we in... Did we set the test properly so we're in the falling state? Here this is. Okay, so we've set our state is in the physics falling state. I feel like I might have problems elsewhere in here. Oh, we need to reset. Oh, look at this. We then update our location based on our velocity. So we continue falling even after we don't because we forgot to, after we land, we should also check that insert equal player physics system dot velocity dot y is back to 0. Okay, so in handle state, we want location at y set to that, self the state standing still, and self dot velocity dot y is equal to 0, 0. So reset that out. We're still at 711 and 710. So it's still this location.y. Still got updated. We went down one further. If I set physics system dot velocity dot y, if we just set you to be 15.0, so you're much faster now. Should we see that? Yeah, okay, so that goes down by quite a bit. $726 by $710. That's as if we moved twice. If we're falling, apply gravity. That updates the velocity y. We reset our location. So we're not changing our location at all here. Except at this point in time. That's resetting. Is the drop game still in JS? It is. Yes. I haven't done anything to sort of update that into to Rust or WebAssembly yet. I was still having a lot of trouble when I was experimenting a little bit. I did some experimentations off stream for WebAssembly and manipulating the canvas, and it feels like it's still a little bit not quite there yet. What else are we doing in our update? So we run U. So we're not passing the command. We have no features, so we're not iterating through those. I feel like this is somehow doing something here. Our velocity y. We're trying to reset that to 0. So that way if we update it, it doesn't matter. But it's almost as if we move once and then we move again. Okay, so if our location at y is greater than self-lit surface floor y, so if we're below that, then location at y is equal to self-lit surface floor y. Set the state to standing still, and that's only if we're falling. So apply the gravity. Maybe I should have us move here at apply gravity. I was kind of hoping not to. I was kind of hoping to keep. This is where we the only time we update our location, and basically we're just updating all the velocities. We could also change it so that way we're just always applying gravity. But I kind of like this because it allows us, it makes it easier for the two different areas. But maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe we can. Okay, so apply gravity here. We could just always apply gravity down here. always check to see if we're impacting against a like the surface, and then if we are, reset ourselves. Like we're off by 1 pixel, so or like one update loop. Are we calling it twice for some reason? Handle state. Off that handle state here, and then yeah, that's it. And handle state here. So handle state's only be called once. I'm not calling update here, right? Calling update here, but not handle state. Okay, so we're in falling. If I run this right now, what are we do we still have a debug? We don't. Let's put a debug here. Put a debug there. Should be able to go like that. That looks, I mean, that looks fine. And we should be able to see, okay, 150, so 728, 701. So we're back down to the bottom. If I put this at the bottom here, we should see that. I think that was 710 is what we expect us to be. Yeah, okay, so here's 710. 701. Okay, so you're working. We are down by a little tiny bit, so I think because we need to go through the loop twice. That's what's happening. We're still in okay. I think I understand what's happening here. Is I've separated out into 2 functions. So one section is just running this. We need to run update twice here, and then this should all work. Except for errors, that's fine. Okay, so commands features. Can I just clone you? Togglebit rating with a party of 73. Welcome, Togglebit and raiders. I am Hardliner. Hello. Dutchly Ghost. Hello again. Gareth Huffball. Quinn TT. Dunkel Sater. Yo ho ho ho. Trolled Woods. Tama Dobry. And let's see. Lay Jack Wolf. Togglebit, of course. It's hit and run, afraid. You have to run, but have a great stream. Thank you so much again for the raid, Togglebit. Hope that you have a great rest and a great rest of your day. I had a highliner, ham hardliner. Sorry, can't stay today. Starting your own stream soon. Oh, awesome. We'll have a great stream. I'm hardliner. Shall not derail the streamer with my name. Oh well, I will derail myself with reading names. All right. Well, before I get into what we're doing here, we do have a tradition here where we play the Get the Streamer game as soon as we get rated. So let's go ahead and get that going. What this is it's a game that we made on stream where you're all gonna have commands in chat that's gonna throw things into an arena that I'm gonna try to avoid. So we're gonna do that really quickly. So cargo, run, release, and then I see Dushley Ghost. You wanted to change the music station. We can do that really quickly. While I'm getting this done. How much time? We're on Rock Station. Let's try Synthwave. I don't have time. I have to avoid things. Here we go. So here's all the commands you're gonna send out. And I'm gonna try to avoid them. Aww. Down to 1 heart already. Oh, wait. Oh, you almost got me with that heart and fire combo. Oh, come on. I thought I was going to be above it. I know, I'm complaining about my own game as if as if somebody else is at fault for the collision detection that I put in. Those hearts, those positions. And we have it select. Oh, we can get it. Almost. There we go. Thank you, Dutchley Ghost, for that. I made it so that way, the pointing wise, you get the same number of points for giving me a heart than you get for hitting me. So if you want to help out, you still get credit. Of course, some people just use the hearts to try to set traps. Oh, come on. Oh, too many people. Oh, wait, I won. 2 minutes. That's how long I had to last. And we got it. And let's see. I think this is the most number of participants ever. And we had, see, a tie. I think it took the last one on that list, but everyone should have got it. But well done, everyone. That was pretty awesome. Yes, that was a fun game that we made, and so we're continuing on. We've been making a lot of games on this channel. The game we're making right now is a Pitfall clone. I just gave myself an error, so I need to fix that. Oh, I can't clone features, but that's fine. We can just, I mean, this is really just an empty vector. And then I can show you what the game looks like so far. Yes, you had the highest points for this session. And then I record all the points across sessions, but I don't necessarily like reward for that one. But you can see like the number next to your name grow over time. So here we have our player. I broke his moving left and right because we're working on jumping and landing back on the surface here. And then I want to make it so when we go into the cave, we fall into there, and then we're going to be down here. What does highest points mean? The most number of hits. You get 1 point per drop. So even if you don't hit, you get a point. And then if you hit me, you get 10 points, regardless if it's a heart or anything else. So it's going to be a combination of doing a lot of drops and also doing a lot of quality drops. And so that's where like things like the snake comes in, and the sword is, if you can get the right combination of them, it's really hard for me to avoid it. And so I get hit eventually. But then you can all band together, and then you all win. Hey, Lord Miz, I see that. So I'm guessing your IRC client is working. And then, let's do one game only spamming hearts. Do you wanna try that? I'll pick a column. We could do that. We can do that. Let's try it. And then we'll see. We'll see. Like, it'll last 2 minutes, and we'll see how much if you can overflow the point buffer. I have that as an F. Oh, can't use my controller there. I mean, this could just be a great attempt to convince me to. I haven't tried to like get too many hearts. Okay, look at that. It overflows. The heart draws. Oh, it's probably going to. Each of those heart draws is a draw call. It's probably gonna start frame rate issues soon. I'm actually surprised it's working well as it is so far. And I was really happy I was able to handle all the people in chat earlier. Release mode in Rust is pretty good. I wouldn't try to run this on the Raspberry Pi though. It would have a lot of troubles. We have not optimized it for low GPU. Well, it hasn't crashed. It's keeping track of the points behind the scenes in a U128, I think. A very large number. And so let's see. Yeah, so many of you had different hearts, and so I'd be fine with the U16. Yeah, I know, but I'm just like using the maximum size number possible. You know, just in case we do get raided by 100,000 people at once. Just in we can dream, right? A U16 can already go up to about 65K. Yeah, I know. We could, but someday maybe. But all right, so what we're working on, we have a lot of tests in this code, and this is a Pitfall clone. That is, if any of you saw, like, do any of you remember the old Atari 2600? Pitfall was one of the hallmark games for that console, and I'm remaking this as a Christmas gift for my father. That's going to be in a Raspberry Pi that I deliver to him. This won't overflow. Famous last words. I mean, yeah, but like, Lord Mist is correct. The chance of us getting an overflow is really low. And I mean, I have a lot of memory on this system, so I'm fine. Like, taking up all that memory is, don't have to be optimal about it. If I was doing this on like a Raspberry Pi, which is a 32-bit operating system, U128 would not really like be that great. Why don't I show hearts as So what we found out was rendering. Oh, did the chat overlay die? Oh, that looks like it did die. What happened? Let me see if I. No. How about that? Oh no, I have to go completely reset that. Where are you? Chat overlay. Chat. Okay, I think maybe that'll work. There we go. All right. So, I don't know. It's not my that. So the chat overlay isn't my website. But it was I don't know, something happened with it. But I reset it, and so we're fine. I think so. Is this? I wanted to test this. How are you running? Passed. Okay, so I can now remove that debug. This. So you should be happy now. Without spewing a bunch of stuff out. Okay, you are. So we needed to run the update twice for it to hit and like reset its location, and that's fine. Then we want to start moving again. I report the bug with the VOD to just make sure it was acting up. Oh well, thank you, Stacking. Then what do we want to do here? We want to start moving again. So I think we have some of these tests up here. Are these all working anymore? I think they should not be working. Well, hello there. Is Zilby and Penny? This is Zilby. Just walked in. Hold on, let me grab him. Hey, Zilby. Kitty cat time. Oh, and he's tired now. But he's purring. Yeah, so Zilby is our stream cat. He's our mascot. We got him a couple months ago now. And he's been hanging around with it, growing quite a bit. He's like feels like twice the size that he was when we first got him. Basically, just a shelter cat that we rescued, and he's been having the run of the house, and he's super happy, and he's loving it here, and we love having him. Oh, I can sense him getting. He's moving into playful stage. All right, so I can complete all of these. There we go. All right, so we have some of these failing here because we're not properly moving the player left and right. So we need to do that. So assertions, you should be 0 to 10, and then negative 10, and then 10. Basically, when we're moving. So I believe we can, and that's because this. Now, if we turn you back on again, I think this will allow us to move once more. Ten passed, 0 failed. And so I go run. So now you can see us moving back and forth. If I hit this pit, we fall through. Oh, we fall through until we hit this surface here. So we need to fix that. But we also have moving back through the map here. So we need to fall through the pit. And I wanted to refactor. I wanted to refactor one of these. This to be in handle state. So if I take these, okay, so you are okay, so basically I think some of these are basically just duplicative. So let's do that here. Handle state. So if we're falling, that's fine. Okay, if we're jumping, that's fine. We also switch to falling immediately. If we're moving left, we want to self dot velocity dot x is equal to its negative. So that's going to be a negative self dot. What do we have here? Our speed. Self dot speed. If we're moving right, self dot velocity dot x equals self dot speed. And if we're standing still, self dot velocity dot x equals 0.0. So I do that, and we keep this gone. Am I still able to move left and right? Yes, okay. Perfect. And then we want to be able to actually fall through the pit instead of just, a little bit down. Quit something else by accident that I didn't want to. But not one of these things, so we're fine. You didn't know you could have those blocks in a match and not comma separate them? Yeah, it won't actually allow me to comma separate them. Because if I save that, it just disappears. So Rust Analyzer I think that's Rust Analyzer. It might be Clippy, is telling me, hey, that's what you do. That only works if they're blocks. If they're not blocks, I have to have commas. So it's interesting. Let's see. So there's that. Let's see. So we can get rid of you. And I think our tests still work. No, they don't. Okay, so you need to be moving. Okay, that's fun. Our tests don't work, but our code works. Yay! Okay. That's always fun one where the tests don't work. Now I need to debug the tests. All right. So which test was it? Let's actually run these one at a time. So you first. You work. So I can close you down. How about you? You work. What? Actual command not found. Oh, okay. You don't work. Okay. So you're left on line 201. Your location at X is 0, and you should be player speed. Okay, so what's happening here? We're loading up our config. Player physics system. Okay, so we created player physics system. We set our location to 0 and 0. We're set our command is move right. We run update, give it a mutable reference to the location. We give it some command, and then we have no features. We expect after we run update that we've moved to the right. Well, okay, that makes sense. And it's saying that our location was not updated. So command move right. Okay, so in handle command, move right. So we have handle state. So we probably want you moving right. So something like self.state equals physics state moving right. Okay, that was what the problem is. I'm not running that correctly. Then you should. I don't know why that suddenly stopped working. This should fail also because we didn't stop moving right. So in our command stop moving right, we switch. Oh no, we have. Oh no, we don't. So stop. Let's just fill these out, and then it should all work. So in our command, move left. Self.state equals physics state moving left. Start game we don't care about. Stop moving left. Self.state equals physics state standing still, and also for this too. Okay, so you're all happy again. All of 10 of them pass nows. Okay, so we're going to run. We need to fix the falling through the pit. We kind of have it falling through the pit, but not really. And I think that's because in our falling here, here's where we're looping through all of our features. And so the pit is a feature on the screen. And so I'm thinking that we want to abstract this out to handle features. Also, let's say if the state is not falling, I feel like we're already doing this, so I don't think we need this at all. Yeah, we don't need that at all. So we can get rid of you. Now we're looping through all the features. I'm thinking we want to have a handle feature for this. And we're going to do the same thing here. Is we're going to loop through the feature, run handle feature for it. And this is determining if we should be falling. And if we should be falling, then what are new, then like we're going back down again. Okay. Let's see. So right now, and then here's where we have a problem. If we're falling, we come down here to handle state. Okay, we're falling, but hey, we hit the surface floor. But one thing we're doing here is we're saying on surface false. So we can fix this by also checking the only time that we check to see if we're on the surface floor is if we're on the surface. So if self.onSurface and self.this. So I think this might allow us. Hey now, sometimes I click and it just selects the entire word. Come on. Self. Oh, right. It's not self. It's location.y. All right, let's try this again. Oh, okay, cool. We didn't fall right away, and then we fell all the way through everything. So that's lovely. I need to make sure that when we fall. Okay, so if we're on the surface, we're checking against the surface. If we're not on the surface, so this is almost like a second check here. So if self dot on surface, then we have to have another check of this here. This is ugly. I don't like it. Now, if we're not on the surface, then we need to check to see if we're on the ground. So if location dot y is greater than self dot cave for y, and then it's going to be pretty much the same thing here, except we're setting to different numbers. So location dot y is equal to self dot cave for y, self dot state equals physics state standing still, dot velocity dot y is equal to 0.0. So that's not very dry code. We might be able to find some better ways to do this. Yes, I know we can collapse this down. Oh, you can be an else if, maybe? Okay. Now, all of you are upset. Open, close that. So your if goes to that if that, else if this. There, okay. He knew Clippy was going to yell at him, but he just wanted that stern yelling anyways. I mean, why bother bringing Clippy in if you're not going to let it, yell at you constantly? So that's lovely. I can teleport over the pit now, which is always a nice feature. Um, I'm thinking this is sort of like a little bit of a mess. Thinking I want to refactor this somehow, make it a little bit easier to sort of handle. And it's making me wonder if I want to switch over to a different architecture um, of this update function, where I'm just always apply gravity, not just when you're falling, just always applying gravity, always checking to see what surface we're on, and maybe we can have that because we can only be on two levels, uh, the cave level or that level, but we are planning on having a ladder to get back up. So if we're climbing, we have to handle that. Um, so how do I want to do that? I may need to. Well, if we have the game object, like the feature that's falling, that's one thing. Hmm. I'm gonna have to think about this for a bit, which is perfect timing, because it's 8:26, meaning I need to go get ready for work and head off to work. So, uh, there's a bunch of us here. I'm gonna set up a raid, sort of see who's online. Anybody from the Rust team? Nobody else is online. Mr. Halsey hasn't started streaming yet. How about you? Wait, you. Okay. Begin bot. Oh, I am Hardliner. He came in with the raid, and let's see, what is I am Hard? Oh, I am Hardliner is streaming Super Mario World. Oh, but then he's later gonna be doing some Advent of Code. So, what are you thinking? Begin bot, I'm Hardliner, um, or Dev Spahas? Spahas?